What's up, guys? Welcome back to my garage. I hope you guys are all doing well today. We are back with another mod review video, or an updated mod review video. Now, I think what I'm about to show you, it's a pretty extensive, large mod. There's a lot of different things in this one mod pack. It's more of a tool pack for my garage. And I think, in my opinion, this is the best mod you can have for my garage, hands down. I think it's a quality of life mod, a QOL mod. Let me know down below in the comments what your guys' overall view is on this mod pack. Let me know some things you guys like, what you don't dislike. If you do end up having any problems, let me know down in the comments. The mod maker, Bulls, he more than likely will see this video. He's a subscriber of my channel. He can see if any of you guys are having maybe any issues if you leave that down below in the comments. And also, if you are enjoying this mod, Bulls Tool Pack mod, let him know down in the comments. Like I said, he'll probably see the comments. Tell him the great job he's done. I think this mod is fantastic. And I'm not doing this mod review or talking good about his mod just because he's a subscriber of my channel. This is not why I'm doing it. I think that this mod is special, and I think it deserves recognition. I just do. So, without further ado, let's get into it. It's going to take a little while because there's a lot of things involved in this mod pack. Now, stay tuned through the whole thing because I will give you some pointers, some things that are maybe a little tricky with doing some of this stuff. I'm not going to show you how each of these tools work necessarily because you guys can figure that out on your own. If you can't, well, I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory for the most part, but I will show you some things that are a little trickier, that do pose a little bit of problems here and there, just because of how the game is. It's not a mod issue, it's just how the game is. So, stay tuned through that. I'll give you some tips and tricks how to do some things. And also, there is 3 different locations on the map, on the small island, where you will find these mods at, where these tools are going to be found. So stay tuned. If you're down in the comments saying, where do I find this tool at, or how do I get this to work, more than likely, if it's something that I covered in the video, I'm going to tell you to go refer to the video, and that's all I'm going to say. Because then you're going to display to everybody that you didn't watch the whole video from beginning to end when I told you that, well, there could be some useful information that you are probably going to want. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This is a very exciting mod pack. Bulls did a fantastic job. Now, there are 2 places. I keep on saying let's get into it, but there's so much that I got to tell you about this tool pack because it's so extensive. Now, two places where you can find this mod pack. One, you can find it on Discord. Now, if you go to Spaz's modding server on Discord, go into the Bulls section of his mods, you will find it in his section there. Now, the more common place probably where you're going to find this mod is on Nexus Mods. Go there to Nexus Mods, find it. It might be still named something different on Nexus Mods. It might be Compressor Tools Welder, something like that. But you'll find it. I think the photo has like a picture of like this blue welder and stuff like that. So you'll find it. It's by Bulls, Bulls, something similar to that. I apologize if I'm not getting your name quite right, Bulls. I apologize. So let's get into it. And this is in no specific order how I'm going to do these. Okay? I'm just set them out here and we're going to do these. So, first off, you have the music player. This guy here. All right. Now, this will play custom music. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't done it yet. Now, I'm sure it's not hard to figure out. Now, maybe Bull's in the comments or somewhere. If someone asks, maybe he can put in the comments how you exactly go in. I think you go into the some of the game files and you can add your own music, which will then play on this music player, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but you can actually play it. You can turn it on, and you can. I guess you can change the song in that. So. Very cool piece. I got to figure out how to use this because it would be really cool when I'm not recording, because I can't listen to music while I'm recording because copyright and all that other kind of stuff, So, but when I'm not recording, it would be nice to listen to some of my own tunes, right? So I got to figure this out. And then also, this subwoofer comes with it. Well, it doesn't come with it. You have to buy it separately. Now, what I've heard is you have to keep the subwoofer fairly close to the music player for, I guess, the subwoofer to work. So there's that. Now, one of the coolest things of this pack, now most of it's cool and all of it is very handy, is this desk. This desk right here, you can click it for the jobs. You can also click the keyboard. Go through, and it is just another version of the catalog, which is really cool. Okay, also separately from the desk, you'll have a computer chair. You can actually, like you see here, you can pick this one up by hand and move it around, which is nice that you don't have to have the move tool. Now, for the desk and the workbench and some other things, you're going to need the move tool to move it around. Once you move it around, it should stay in place. As you see here, I'm bumping right into it. It stays in place, no issue. If you move some of these things around that need the move tool, you move it around, and then it won't stay in place like this, or you can hit it and it moves. Sometimes if you just simply save, you just do a quick save. Sometimes that takes care of the problem and it will stay locked in place. If not, save and quit and then load back in. Then 99% of the time, that locks it in place. If that doesn't work, then your other option is to quit and save, shut down the game, exit out of the game completely, and then load the game back up, and then load your save back up. And then you should be good to go. If that doesn't work, then there's probably an issue somewhere on your end, or maybe there's a mod bug at that point again. So, but usually most of the time when there's an issue with a mod, a lot of times, or there's an issue in your game, maybe not necessarily with a mod, a lot of times it's user error. I'm just saying that. I mean, a lot of times when I end up doing something and something's wrong, it's because I'm doing it wrong. Or I've seen so many times where people are doing something wrong and it's because they are doing it wrong, And maybe it's because you're not sure how to do something. So now let's get to some of the tools now. First off, the welder. Okay? You'll see this gas bottle I have, it's connected to it right now. Well, when you buy it, the bottles will be separate. Okay? They will be separate from the welder. If you open this door here, click on this door handle, it folds down. Take that off. Actually, I'm going to have to move that back a little bit. Bring that out. Now, this doesn't have a full thing of spool on it like this one, because obviously I've been using it. Just like this tank is drained a little bit because I've been using it. Okay? So, when you buy these, all these, the wire spool, the tank, and the unit itself, the welder itself, will be separate, and you'll have to buy them separate. Now, here's a little trick for these. Getting the wire spool in is pretty simple. You can just put it in there, and it goes right on. Close the door up. No issue really with the wire spool. However, the issue sometimes is with this gas tank. I had an issue at first. It's just not really an issue. It's just trying to figure out how to do it correctly to get this tank to connect to the welder so you can use it, because without the wire spool or the gas tank, this welder will not work. I'm telling you now, it will not work without either one. So you have to have both connected to the welder. What you want to do is get this gas tank standing up straight. Grab it at the bottom here. You see my white circle, right? Grab it at the bottom of the tank. Pick it up at the bottom, standing straight up like this. Get it as straight as you can. Get that check mark right there, and it connects right to it. If you do it sideways, and you sometimes can get the check mark if you lay it down like this on its side, get the check mark, sometimes it won't come up, but sometimes it will. If you get that check mark and it's laying on its side like this, it's not going to go on. You can try all day and that check mark will show up every time. It will not work. You have to hold it towards the bottom, and it will connect just like that. Okay? So pay attention to that. A lot of people have problems with that. Next on the list is the good old plasma cutter. Plasma cutter is really cool. You can use it instead of the grinder to cut body panels off, which I much rather prefer the plasma cutter over the grinder. So yeah, that's how the plasma cutter works. Pretty simple. Not much to say about that guy, but very useful tool. Now this air compressor, the new and improved air compressor. This guy has different tools that can be used with the air compressor. You have to buy this separately along with the tools. Now I will show you the tools that work with this air compressor. Come over here to the workbench. As you can tell, your hand tools, your base game hand tools, and also some of your new tools like the paint gun. You have the paint gun here, your tire inflator, your impact wrench, and your polisher. Okay? These four work with the air compressor. The air compressor has to be fairly close for these to work. If you're too far away, there's a good chance they're not going to work. So you have to be fairly close. Now, for this polisher, you flip this guy over, right? Get it flipped over. Now this is the polishing disc, the white polishing disc you can buy in the store. Grab this guy, you have to put on the back there. It's on there, now you can polish. Without that polishing disc, it will not polish your car after you paint it, and then you obviously put on the clear coat. It won't take off the orange peel from the clear coat if you don't have that white pad on the back of that polisher. Just like you need the white pad for the grinder. And these tools do go on there. They all go on there nicely. Like I said, this impact wrench will tighten and loosen all bolts. It doesn't just have to be lug nuts, which the impact wrench is primarily used for, which is lug nuts, but that can be used on any kind of bolt in the game. This tire inflator inflates the tires. It just does it more automatically instead of the base game hand pump. All right, now this paint gun, I'll show you. It can be a little tricky. Take the paint gun, find a flat surface like the workbench. That's a good place to set it. This lid pops off the top. Okay, it unscrews. Right mouse button, lid comes off. Okay, a lot of times the lid gets kind of stuck in there like it did. Just grab the paint gun, pull it away from it. It's just fine. What you want to do is take a paint can. It does paint can or clear coat. So if you have a can of clear coat, like this white can is clear coat as you see there at the bottom of the screen, clear coat. Paint or clear coat. Grab the paint can. It can be a little tricky to find that check mark. I've gotten fairly good at it because I've used it enough. But if you're not used to this, sometimes it can be a little tricky to get. It's a very small area, very small hitbox, whatever you want to call it, to get that check mark to show up. See, like I can move it very lightly, and that check mark goes away. So find that check mark, goes right inside. As you see, the can now is inside. Put your lid back on. The lid can be a little tricky too, just like putting the can inside. Lid back on. You are good to go. Now at the very bottom, you can tell it says spray size medium. Press X to change. On your keyboard, press X to change. It's set for medium right now. That's usually what I paint at. The paint, when it comes out, the density of the paint, the paint area, the thickness of the paint, I have it set on medium. That's what I think for me. I think it works best for me on. Now you can change it from large, very large, and then it starts at very small, small, medium, large, very large, and it just, So you have multiple settings there, and you can mess with that, see which one you like the best. Like I said, see the lid's got stuck in there again. Take the can out. It's just the opposite. Right mouse button. They come right out. Can comes right out. There you go. Sometimes it can be a little tricky. Sometimes it can be a little tricky getting the can out to get it loosened up when you press the right mouse button. Sometimes it doesn't want to. Just do it a few times. You'll get it. Sometimes you got to pick up the paint gun and try again. It can be a little tricky. It's not necessarily with the mod. It's just a game thing. So it's just how it is. But nonetheless, you'll figure it out. It's not that hard. Try it on your own for, so many people want to try things and not do it on their own. They just, they try it once and they just think it doesn't work. No, if you try it, sometimes you have to try something multiple times for it to get it work, but it will work. Not saying this is the case for this stuff. Most of the stuff works fantastic. So, there you go. So there's the workbench, basically, and the tools that go with the air compressor. This workbench here, this vise does not, it's just there for looks. Workbench is really handy. Same thing, too. Once you place it, it will stay in place. Now, it moves us to our tool trolley. Our tool trolley. You can set things on top. All these drawers open. Tools. That wasn't mod issue. That was me issue, not getting it in the drawer. Okay, so your tools do go inside. Now, there might be different drawers that they will go into. Okay, but you have all those drawers. Another thing, too, is I might have to move this out of the way. Which is fine. See, even I moved it. I didn't have to save or anything. I moved it there, and it's still locked in place again. So you're good to go. You are good to go. Of course, when you move it, stuff is going to fall off, right? If you would actually pick something up in real life, there's a good chance would fall off your table too. So, all right. With this guy, the reason why I had to move that, you can actually move this tool trolley around. It is on wheels. You need to come up to it on the side here where the handle is. You can't do it from the side. It will not work. That's why I had to move the workbench. Take your white dot, put over the handle, left click down. You will grab onto the handle of the tool trolley. There you go. See how you grabbed onto it? Now you can move this guy all around. Wherever you need it to. Keep your tools in there like a toolbox. Move it around your workshop. Whatever you would like to do with it. Very handy, very cool. That is also kind of new and improved. Bulls had another version of this last time before the URP update. But now you can move this one actually around. Very cool. Very awesome. All right, now let's get back to some other more hand type of tools. You have your low jack here. You can move it around nice and easy. Your handle for it's right here. Right click. Takes the handle off. Get your check mark right there. Right click. Goes in. Now what you're going to need to do that's separate from the base game jack is the base game jack. I believe you have to left click up and down. Well, with this one, you use your scroll wheel on your mouse. So you scroll up, it goes up. Scroll down, it goes down. And the nice thing with this one, too, you can have it up at any position. You can still pick it up and move it. The base game jack will not allow you to do that. Once it's up in the air, you have to lower the base game jack all the way down before you can move it. This one, you can pick up at any stage, which is really awesome. The base game jack needs to be that same way, but sadly, it's not. There's no reason why you can't pick a jack up when it's raised up at all. Now, if it's underneath a vehicle, obviously that's different. But when it's just there by itself, there's no reason why you can't pick that up when it's raised up. But there's a lot of stuff in the base game that makes you scratch your head. But that's not what we're here for today. Now, next tool. The power washer or pressure washer, jet wash, whatever you call it. Buy this guy, you can pick it up. Super light. I mean, super light. You just throw the thing around like it's nothing. It's almost like you're picking up nothing with this thing. Grab the pressure washer handle. Sometimes it turns upside down. Not sure why that is. Now, I know if you pick up the paint gun, sometimes for some people it's like upside down or whatever, like that one, or some of the other stuff, because you might have his other air compressor mod or paint air compressor mod that he had before the URP update downloaded still and in your mods list. I don't have those anymore in my mods list. So that's why I don't get it with the paint gun. But still, for some reason, I get it when I pick this up. It's not a big deal. I really don't care. It could be considered a bug, but something like this, see, it doesn't do it every time. Like, see, it doesn't do it every time. Now, maybe when I pick this up, will it do it? No. See, sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. That might be a bug. I really don't give a dang about that. I really don't. To me, that doesn't even need to be fixed. To me, I could care less. Just like people complain about the air or the paint gun being upside down or whatever because when they pick it up they're trying to paint with it. I don't care. I really don't care. It takes a dang split second to turn this thing around to paint with it. It's not that big of a deal. Like, to me, like, you see, did it again. To me, that's not. I really don't care. To me, that doesn't even need to be fixed. But I'm sure some people would complain about that because they just like to complain. But it is what it is. We're going to sleep because the days are really short and the nights are long. Get us some better light here. So, that is the pressure washer. Very cool. I think, in my opinion, the pressure washer is better than the hose. And there is another pressure washer that I know for sure by another modder. He does a lot of the mods that you will see on Nexus, he has a pressure washer too. But sadly, it's not nearly as good as Bull's pressure washer. And the hose is even better than that other guy's pressure washer. That other modder's pressure washer. I'm not saying any names, don't want to talk bad about him because he puts a lot of quality, great mods out. Actually, he really does. He does a lot for the My Garage modding community. So I'm not talking bad about him. That's why I don't want to put a name out there, because that would not be right of me to do that, because he provides a lot of quality mods. I'm just saying that mod of his, the pressure washer, is not good. But that's also not why we're here either. So this Bull's pressure washer, very good mod. It's great. Actually, it covers a wider area when cleaning, and I think it cleans better, quicker than the garden hose. This right here, pressure washer, really should be the go-to over the garden hose. So, best way to clean your cars in this game, I would say, is the pressure washer. Besides, if you go to the big island, if you use the actual car wash, that's different. But as far as washing it by hand, this right here, this pressure washer, part of Bull's tool pack, this is the best one in the game. Hands down. So, let's move on. Now we have all that done. Yes, I mean, there's a lot more still to go. Like I told you guys, it's going to be a long video. We're almost done, though. We're almost done. Not really, but we're almost done. The paint station. Paint station now. This guy here. You can buy the paint cans or the clear coat cans out of the catalog, where you would buy the base game spray paint cans. Just go to color. You buy paint can right here and buy clear coat. And they will spawn right here. You can bag them up. Don't mind me, I had a move tool in my bag. Forgot about that. But buy the clear coat, paint, whatever. They will go right here. It can be a little tricky, so I haven't perfected this a whole lot yet. So it can be a little tricky. Like you have seen the check marks have shown up, right? You did see it there. It is slightly tricky. I will admit, this is probably to me, the trickiest piece out of the whole pack. I'm really trying to get this to go on here. Like, you can get it for a split second, but it can be an absolute pain. I'm being 100% honest with you. That there you go. See? You might need to be a little closer. I might have been a little too far back. So let's try that again. Oh. I might just be a little too far away. Let me put this up here. You just have to mess with it. You'll get it. You might have to put it down on something so the can's a little closer to you. Yeah, you get the check mark a lot easier if it's closer to you. There you go. Take the can off. Right mouse button. Start to see the check mark when your can's white and the check mark is white. There you go. Just as simple as that. There you go. Just that simple. If you do happen to take off one of these handles here, because they do come off at times, don't worry about it. Just put it back on. White check mark, they'll go back on. If for some reason you put it back on and it disappears, I've had that before. Usually one handle kind of goes into another handle, gets stuck on another handle, and it makes like it looks like it's disappeared, maybe try the one underneath or try the ones beside it and see if that handle actually becomes separate and comes off of the another handle, and then you can put your handle back. I know that might be a little confusing what I just said, but it's just a thing that this paint station here, this paint station shelf does. I've had it happen. Don't think, there's an issue or something. I mean, there could be a little bit of an issue, but it's still there. You just got to find it. So, all right. That might have been a little confusing. I'm sorry, but yeah. Let's move on. Now, this is your fluid shelf for your fluids. You have 2 racks. The top racks are for your coolant. Third shelf here is for your oil. And the bottom shelf is for your brake fluid. Now, hit the right mouse button and you will pick it up. Okay? Now, let me give you a little trick here, because I've seen it too many times, and people are like, well, I can't get these to go on the shelf. You can, you just probably only tried it once and it didn't work. Or you tried it over and over again and you're doing it the wrong way. You could sometimes get the check mark again, like this, like we got sideways. Thing's not going to go on there. You can try all day. It's just like the gas bottle for the water. You can try all day to get it. It ain't going to go on. I'm telling you now, it's not going to go on. So, the way to get this on, these bottles on here, move it so it's like this, okay? So it's sitting flat, pick it up, and as you raise it up, move the mouse wheel so it's sitting fairly flat. Right here over the shelf. Release the left mouse button. There you go. There it is. See? And there it connected. That first time when I did it, it didn't really connect really well. You could see it wasn't level with the other ones. Just pick it up again. There you go. That's it right down. See? There, it didn't get it quite right. There you go. You just have to get it set quite right. It's a little finicky. Some of this stuff is a little finicky. It is what it is. There's nothing really that can be done about it. To my knowledge, what I've heard, there's not much that can be done about it. That's just how things are. It works. You just have to use it to figure out how it works best. Okay? Same thing with the oil. You can pick it up with the right mouse button if you want. Hit the right mouse button, you can drop it. Then you can pick it up, do whatever you want with it. Oil goes back pretty well. I think maybe because there's a bigger gap in between the bottles, it has more room compared to the coolant bottles having less room being squeezed in here. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it sounds good, right? So, pick this up, put it down, same thing. Put it back. There you go. That's the coolant shelf. Very cool. Very nice. This is something. I'm actually very excited about the coolant shelf. I didn't think something like this could be possible until Bulls brought out the sandbag shelf, which came out right before this coolant shelf came out. I didn't think any of this was possible until he came out with this. And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, a coolant shelf like that, if he can do it with the sandbags, I bet he can do it with the coolant bottles. And the next thing you know, before I could even say anything, he had this out. Very cool. The reason why I've thought we've needed something like this for a while, these bottles can be an absolute pain in the rear end to deal with. To get them stacked on a shelf nicely or whatever, I hate it. This here, pick it up, snaps right onto the shelf, stays there. You can even pick these up when they're stacked on the shelf. Move them around. Just like that. And they're on there, and they stay on there. It's awesome. You can do actually the same thing with the sandbags, too. You can move those around. with the product on the shelf, which is really nice. Now, if you run into it, they might not lock in place. No, they did. They locked in place. They locked in place even after moving them. So, I don't want to see anymore that these things don't lock into place after you move them, because I've proved more than a couple times, or at least a couple times, this stuff locks into place after you pick it up. So, like I said, if you have any issues, I told you how to correct that, and that should correct it. But, yeah. These stay in place now. These stay in place. So, that's the fluid shelf. Now, let's move on to the sandbags. Same thing, you can pick up the sandbags here, left mouse button. These bottles you can pick up with the right mouse button. You have to click the right mouse button to get these off the shelf. Sandbags, you don't click the right mouse button. You hold the left mouse button, they come right up. Put them back on the shelf. Make sure they're flat, and they snap right back on the shelf. Same thing here. If you have them and you put them on like this, well, that went on this time. Sometimes they won't go on if you have them, say, a different way. Sometimes they won't go back on, but they're seeming now like they're, doesn't matter which way you put them, they go back on. So, best thing to do if you're having any issues, make sure the bags are just down flat, and they'll snap right back on. See, there you go. Take one of these. Another issue I saw people having, which I don't know why they're having this. I never had this issue. Doesn't mean that people aren't having the issue. Even though I don't have the issue, doesn't mean someone else is, or someone else isn't having the issue. Just like I could have the issue and someone else doesn't have the issue. So it just depends. I'm not saying that people aren't having the issue. I've never had this issue at all since this sandbag rack came out. But some people were saying if they took the sandbags off, they couldn't get the sandbags to go in. They will go in, as you can see. Sandbags go in. It works. They go in. I just proved it. Sandbags go in. That one's full too, or I'd show you that they go in. But like you just saw, the sandbags do go in. Just because the first time, like I got the check mark, it didn't go in. Sometimes things don't work the first try in my garage. It's just how the game is. That's why I said most people just try things once and then they think it doesn't work. Sometimes you got to try things more than once. Sometimes you got to try it multiple times. Maybe a dozen times before it works. I know it's a pain in the ass, but that's how you have to do things sometimes. Don't just give up after the first or second try. Alright, so now, that's how that all works. I wanted to bring out the sandblaster here, an empty sandblaster, to show that the bags do work. They do go in to the sandblaster after being on the shelf. So many people are saying that it doesn't work. It does work. If it doesn't work for you, obviously there's some kind of issue on your end why it doesn't work. Okay, now, this tire rack. Rolling tire rack. Don't forget the rolling part. Rolling tire rack. All right. This guy here will fit tires of any size. Now, I had these sitting on here, and then I left the game and loaded back in. That's why those are sitting the way they were down into the rack. That's how tires do on any tire rack in this game. If you played this game long enough, you know that's how tires sit on racks. They'll actually fall down into the rack after you know, when you load back in. This guy here, it works. It's nice. You can transport multiple tires around at one time if you don't want to put them in your bag or you don't have the mod for the bag mod. Now, you can take this guy. Same thing with the toolbox. You got to come right here, grab the handle. You'll grab it, and you can move this thing around. You got to watch how you move with it. Tires do come off of it. It is what it is, you know. I'm not concerned about it. Sometimes they stay on there, sometimes they don't. I'm trying to keep it real with you guys. I'm not trying to sugarcoat things. you know, I'm not trying to upset anybody about that either. Like the mod maker or whatever. I'm not trying to upset them about any of that. It is what it is. You know, some things aren't going to work top of the line, right? Most everything in this mod pack works flawless. And I'm not just saying that. The rolling tire rack is, you know, it's all right. It does its job, right? It does its job. It holds tires. It will hold rims, as you see. Individual rims it will hold. If you take off the tires, now like here, let me just grab this single tire by itself without the rim. You can take this tire here. It's going to give me problems now. Watch. There we go. Single tires go on there. Single rims by themselves. Rims and tires go on there, as you guys saw. Dang tires rolling away. But yeah, it works. It does its job. Just the thing with this is, as you see as I'm moving it, the tires kind of roll too, like it's rolling down the road, you know. So if you do move it slow, see, I moved it real fast. If you do move it slow at first, if you try to move it slow, if you need to move it sideways, and then to move forward, just move slow. You know, I'm not trying to show. I'm not trying to show that this mod is bad or the downfalls of this mod. I'm not. This mod is fantastic. But if there is, maybe if you want to say a weak spot of this mod, it is this tire. But at the end of the day, it does its job. Look, it does its job. It holds the tires as it should. So really, the only thing that's a little iffy about it, and it still does it. It's not like it doesn't do it. Like I showed you, if you move slow with it, you can get it to work. I just don't have real good patience, if I'm being honest. So maybe it's more me that's doing it wrong again. Like, really, it's a lot of user error at the end of the day. It's probably me. Like I showed, if you move this slower, it's going to work fine. It's going to work. So it does its job. It does what it's supposed to do. So I'm not saying it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, because it does. And I'm not trying to talk bad about it. So I don't want to get anybody upset by that. I don't want to put this mod in a bad light, because I'm not. I'm trying to actually glorify this mod and what the mod maker has done here. I'm really trying to put this mod on a pedestal. So, because I really do think it's better than any other mod for my garage. Even though you have all the really cool car mods and this and that for this game, I still think this is the best mod, hands down, you can have. I think this is a mod that everybody should have that plays my garage. That's what I feel. Okay, now, moving on from the tire rack. Like I said, the tire rack works. You just have to be careful with it. Let me just say that. A lot of these things, just like in my garage, even if it isn't a mod, you got to be careful with it, because things can. My garage is my garage. Play the game, you understand what I'm saying. This transfer tank here, you will have to have the move tool to move it. Right mouse button takes off the fuel cap. You fill it up, take it over there, fill it up. It will take diesel, and it will take unleaded gas, regular gas. This comes off of here, and you can fill. There's nothing in the tank, obviously. You can't go too far away from it, but you can take this transfer tank, take this, and you can go fill up other vehicles if you want or whatever. So, pretty dang handy, I would say. Or if you're ever out somewhere. Have you ever been out somewhere, maybe on the big side of the map? Possibly. You're out scavenging around for maybe a free car, or you're out there going to the interior shop or somewhere way out, or you're delivering pizzas or whatever, right? And you just happen to run out of gas. Has that ever happened to anybody in this game? You just run out of gas. You're not really paying attention to the gas gauge or something because you're doing, trying to do something and you're low on gas and you run out. Well, if you have this transfer tank on you, you ain't got to worry about that, do you? You just take that and put it in your fuel tank and there you go. Fill it right back up and you're back on the road. No problems. So this is very handy if you want. Pretty cool to have transfer tank. I did have this on the back of this flatbed here. So this kind of made it like a service truck, which is really cool. Now, lastly, the last thing, I hope I got everything that's a part of this mod pack out here. I believe I did. I hope I didn't forget anything. There's just so much in this mod pack. I'm hoping and praying that I did not leave anything out. If I did, bulls, let me know if I left anything out. I don't think I did. I've checked a couple times, and I don't think I've left anything out. If I did, I apologize very much. I'm not doing this video again. This video is taking a long time. Lastly, as part of the products in this tool pack, this lift here, 2-tier lift, has an upper deck, goes up, all the way up, also down. It's even listed here, top lift, and then down. Sometimes when you click it, the bottom one moves. Again, it is what it is. Now you go down. It goes all the way down. Now, if you hold it down, the button down like that, it's supposed to go all the way down automatically to what I've heard, my knowledge. So if you hold it down like that for at least a few seconds or whatever, it will automatically go down if you leave it. So remember that. So if you have a car down here, you don't want to smash it, okay? I think that's how this lift is supposed to be. This goes up, like I said. If you hold it down, see, I'm letting off of it completely. And it went up automatically by itself. So just keep that in mind. Don't smash your cars, because you actually, I believe, you can smash your cars. So do not do that. Okay, but so bottom one, this one goes up. It can go all the way up, so be careful how much you put it up. You can smash your car. See, I held the button down again for a few seconds, and it went automatically up. So just keep that in mind. Okay, see? Just keep that in mind. Like, it will automatically go down. If you hold that button down for a few seconds, it will. So, once it reaches the bottom, it will automatically stop. That's how I believe this lift is supposed to be. Just keep that in mind. Don't want to crash or don't want to basically crush your cars. You don't want to do that, right? Don't want to do that. Would not be a good day. Just keep that in mind when you're using this. This is very cool. You can keep this top rack raised all the way up, store a car on. You can use this bottom rack here. And okay, so now it doesn't want to work for me, but it is what it is. This one you can get raised up here towards the center, put another car on it, and then you can actually drive one underneath here and store one here, so you can have 3 cars basically stacked on top of each other. This lift does work. It may need a thing or two, possibly, as far as the button-wise goes, as how I don't necessarily care for. I will say here, because I'm being transparent with you guys, and I always try to be upfront and honest with you guys, because there's nothing in this for me, and I'm not trying to talk bad about a modder or their mods. It's not the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do here. This thing works. It works. It works. It works just fine. I don't like how, and maybe these lifts do it in real life. To my knowledge, they don't. I could be completely wrong. To my knowledge, I don't think these lifts, even when you hold the button down for a few seconds, they don't automatically go up and down by themselves in real life. At least the lifts that I've worked with in real life, I've used 2-post lifts before. Okay, I haven't used any of this style. So that's why I say maybe I could be wrong. I could be wrong about these kind of lifts here, because these are more like for like storing cars instead of working on them. I have used 2-post lifts before in real life. To raise and lower, like the 2-post lifts, you have to hold down that button for it to raise and lower. As soon as you let off the button, it stops. It stops. No matter if you're raising it up or down. As soon as you let off that button, it stops right now. Okay? This one here, if you hold the button down for sometimes even like 2 or 3 seconds, like it wants to go up or down on its own automatically. And sometimes it doesn't want to stop. After you even hit the buttons, it doesn't want to stop. Now, what I saw one person put in that I think possibly helped him with this mod, this part here, this lift here, and I'm not talking bad about anybody. I think they said it automatically does that in real life. If you hold the button for a few seconds, it automatically goes up and down. From my knowledge, I disagree on it. I don't think they do. But I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong about it. And they may. These type of lifts here may do that. But again, I don't think they do. And it's just really weird to have it. I don't want to hold down the button for 2 or 3, I have to hold this button down for, sometimes it's even like you hold it down for like 1, 2, and it's already, you let off and it's going up and down. Cars are easily going to get crushed with this thing. That's why I leave a little bit of warning here if you want to use this one here, because you can cause damage. I believe you can. I think there's a good chance it may crush your car. With how I've seen things work in this game, in my garage, your cars may get crushed with this, so I'm just putting out a little word of warning, if you want to say. Word of warning. And again, I'm not trying to talk bad about anyone or talk down on a mod. That's not what I'm doing here. It's not what I'm doing here. I've said it multiple times. Not what I'm doing here. I'm just letting you guys know. Just take caution. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as if you mod any game at all. You mod any game at all. I don't care whatever game it is. It doesn't even have to be My Garage. It could be any game. You're taking a risk anytime you put mods into your game, because you don't know how those mods are going to react or what they're going to do or how they're going to make your game act. Now, I know that's a little bit of difference than how a piece works like this that I'm talking about. So, yeah, it is a little different for what I'm saying, but it's still kind of the same idea that I'm trying to say. Just approach this lift here with caution. Just approach it with caution. I'm just saying I don't necessarily like how it works. You may like how it works, and it works maybe fantastic for you. This one I've had, it is what it is. Again, I don't want to talk about it. I really don't, because I really think it's really cool, and it could be used. I would love to see just like someone have like a warehouse and have these lifts in it, and like 3 cars stacked up on these lifts, for one of these lifts, just 3 cars just, stacked on there, and just have like a warehouse full of them. You know how cool that would be? Like, just, that would be super cool to see. I would love to see that. That would be awesome. So, this is something cool for the game to have lifts like these, like storage lifts. It's basically what these are, storage lifts. You're not really going to necessarily use it to work on your car. I mean, you could, but it's not really what these are necessarily, I don't believe, what these are necessarily meant for. They're more for storing your vehicles. I just don't care for the whole button system on it. It works. It does work. And you can keep your cars on it. I proved it. It works just fine. I don't like the whole buttons on. And it automatically going up. Sometimes you can hold the button down just for like 2 seconds, like I said. 1, 2, and it's wanting to go up or down automatically on its own. I just don't like that. I don't want to harp on that anymore. At this point, this video is gone forever. And I want to move on. So now, I believe that is everything in this tool pack. Okay? All the tools. Now, like I said, you wanted to stay here because I am going to show you the locations that you will find these mods. There are 3 separate locations on the small island. You go over to the gas station, right across the street from the main garage. You will find the music player and the subwoofer in the gas station. Okay? Those are the only 2 things, to my knowledge, that you will find over here. Let's fly on over to the part shop.
Do you know Steve, the pawn shop guy?
Advice
from me, stay away from this guy.
Pipe down, boy.
Way too shady to my liking.
You're talking.
No? Aye, fair enough.
You know what? Stop talking bad about Scapegoat. Scapegoat's the man. He does a lot of good content, a lot better than I do. All right. In here, in the part shop, you will find the rolling tire rack. Come over here, you will find the tool trolley. Then you will find the air compressor. Over here, you will find the plasma cutter, the low jack, the gas tank, the MIG welder, the air compressor, polisher, paint gun, impact wrench, tire inflator. If you come over in here, you will find the transfer kit tank, the fluid shelf, sandbag shelf. Back over here, you will find the paint station. If you come back over here, this pallet here, you can take your empty gas tanks for the welder. Once you saw the percentage on them, they will go down as you use them. Once you get down to 0%, there isn't any more gas to them, you can bring them back over here. Instead of buying a whole new $500 bottle, you can bring those empty bottles you have over here. Drop them on the refill station pallet, and it will refill those tanks. It may charge you to refill them. I don't remember if it does or not, but it may refill, or it may charge you for refilling your old tanks. If it does, I'm sure it's quite a bit less than what it costs for a new tank, or at least it would make sense that it would be less. So, I believe that's everything part of the pack that's in here. Now let's take a ride to the mod shop. I set in here, set the customer parking sign in here so I could fast travel to it. Now, if you have, now more than likely, if you have mods in My Garage, you're going to think about modding for My Garage. I just really recently, last week, put out a video of how to install mods in My Garage and where to find mods at. One of those required mods, I believe, is by Fedes, and you will need the utility mods mod. It's probably not the correct name for it right now. I can't remember the name for it, but you will need that if you go watch that video of mine. It will show you which one you need. I believe this mod shop here is added as part of that mod utilities mod that you need for most mods to work in game. If you don't have that, this mod shop here, this building will not show up. It will not show up. So you have to have that mod. And then these here will show up inside. This is obviously the lift I showed you. The desk, the chair, and the workbench. These 4 items are down here at the mod shop here on the beach. All right. Transport back to the garage. Those are the 3 locations where you will find these mods at in Bull's Tool Pack. All right. So there you go. That is a whole mod review of this mod. It has taken a long time to do this. I hope I didn't upset anybody. The only person I'm worried about upsetting is Bull himself. These last 2 items I was a little critical about. The rolling tire rack and the lift over there. I was a little critical about these guys. I don't mean to be negative about them. I'm just trying to be upfront and honest with the issues that I have experienced with them or things that I don't necessarily like with them. Like I said, they work. As you see, they do work. Just, you know, it is what it is. And I don't know if it's necessarily anything that Bulls can perfect on him any. Because, like I said, they work, so there's nothing to fix on them, really, I don't think. Because they work, right? They work, there's nothing to fix. If something works and it's not broken, there's nothing to fix on it. But maybe there's some things maybe with these 2 that he can maybe possibly perfect, maybe. I'm not sure. But if not, it doesn't matter because they still work, right? So, just like I said, word of warning, just a little bit of caution, with these 2 guys. Everything else here works great. I've showed you little tips. And if you know how to do those things, like, putting on the gas bottle, getting it put on, or thing with the paint cans and the paint gun, those little things like that, like I said, it still works. It can be a little finicky, that's all. Like, I've even seen Bulls, the mod maker, he's even admitted that, it can be a little finicky. It's just how it is. So, like I said, I'm not talking bad about anything in this pack. I'm not at all. And hopefully Bulls is not upset at me because I don't want to upset him. Because, like I said, hands down, I believe this is the best mod for my garage. I really do feel that way. This is a must-have mod for my garage. It is. At least in my opinion, if all I had to have is one mod for my garage, it would be this one right here. It has multiple different things that are useful, like the racks. But more importantly than that, it adds the paint gun, which I think is a must, and the air compressor to air up your tires. Those 2, to me, the game is dang near unplayable without a proper tire pump, without a proper tire air compressor, whatever you want to call it, and a paint gun. I think the game is almost unplayable without those 2. I think it's almost unplayable. It's not unplayable, but it's almost unplayable without those 2. So those 2 are a must. So, yeah, this would be it. If I only could have one mod, this mod would be it, hands down. There'd be no other mod I'd have. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments. I know most of you have not watched this far. Probably 99% of you haven't watched this far. But it is what it is. Like I said, if you missed anything and there's something I've covered in this video, I'm just going to say in the comments. I might sound rude, but I don't care. I'm going to say, hey, refer back to the video. It was covered. So, I hope you guys did find this informative and useful. And if you guys do not have this mod, do yourselves a favor, I should say. Go download this mod. Get this mod in your game. It's free. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. So go get it. And I believe I told Bulls this in one of the, told him recently within the last couple of weeks. I told him, I said, hey, I think this really could be a paid mod. As much time he's put into this, and is what's added into this mod, and it's a quality of life mod, I feel. I really think he could charge for this, but I don't think that's in the plans for him. If he did, because obviously all his mods, for what I know, are public, and he doesn't charge for them. But I do believe that this could be a paid mod. Most people wouldn't pay for it because, too many people would think that they're better than paying for mods. No, I'm not saying you should go out and spend all kind of money on mods. That's not what I'm saying. But I have spent some money on a few different mods that I think are worth it. And this one definitely would be that. So yeah, hands down, I feel like this is you could charge $10, $15, I believe, for this mod. Maybe not 15, but definitely $10 for this mod. I mean, $10 a pop, man. Whoo-wee. You'll be racking up the dough pretty soon. I'm not trying to give Bulls any ideas, man, because he might take that and run with it. But I don't think he has any plans to do anything like that, but I could be wrong. If he did, I'd definitely. Or if he put it on a Patreon. We started a Patreon and put this on Patreon and charged, $5 a month or whatever to use this mod. Or maybe he put an option on Patreon where you could subscribe to him for $5 a month, or, send me $15. One-time payment for $15, and you can just have access to the mod as long as you want. Access to any updates if there are any. Anything added to it. $15, you can have it, or you can subscribe to me for $5 a month or $3 a month, and there you go. Like, not trying to give the guy any ideas, I don't want to pay for anything more that I don't have to either, that I could get for free, So, but I'm just saying it's that good. It is that good. So, I've rambled on long enough. Like I said, hopefully this was informative and it helped you guys out. And like I said, this is every bit worth my time. Every bit worth my time to do this review. I do feel that way. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have taken the time to do this. This is probably close to an hour video, maybe even longer now, just on a mod review. Like, that's that's getting a little wild there in my book, but it's every bit worth it. It is every bit worth it. So, again, I want to thank Bulls, the mod maker. I don't know if it's Bull or Bulls. I always see it's Bulls with an S. So, I want to thank Bulls for making this incredible mod for my garage. I mean, he's done very well. I think, I wish the developer of my garage did updates and made corrections to his game like Bulls has done for his mod pack. Because my garage would be the game itself would be a thing of beauty. There would be no other mechanic game out there that would touch my garage if the developer of my garage would do what Bulls has done to his mod pack. Now, I know it's on a much smaller scale, obviously, but it's, that's my feelings on it. So, I'll leave you guys with that. Comment down below if you do run into any problems. Let me know down in the comments, too, what your overall thoughts are on this mod pack as a whole. Let me know the individual things that you do like. Maybe is there anything in this mod pack that you don't like, or things that, you're maybe a little iffy on. Like I've shared with you guys here. It's no different than me putting, my feelings on some things out here on there. It's no different if you would do that in the comments. You know, there's going to be things that you prefer and there's things that you don't prefer. You know, or things that are just all right, you know. So that's with everybody. That's with everybody, you know. Every last person on this earth is going to like things that others don't or prefer this over that. You know, that's one of the things that makes the world go round. So, again, I'm going to end it here for good. Thank you guys all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, thank you to the mod maker for putting out this incredible mod. I appreciate it very much. And I'm sure that many other players of My Garage feel the same way. Thank you guys for watching this. I know it got long. We will see you very soon. We will be back with some actual My Garage gameplay very, very soon. Thank you guys.